Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Chizoba. Chizoba lived with her grandmother in a small town where her late mother had hailed. She had actually run away from home few years after the death of her mother because her wicked stepmother, Chiamaka, was making her life miserable. Chiamaka had turned her into a slave in her own father's house, and her father had always looked the other way. Even in her father's presence, she beat her, and the man would still even blame her for being stubborn. She was badly maltreated, and when she had the opportunity, she ran away with the help of one of her late mother's friends. Though her father had been sorry after she had run away and had come begging, her grandfather had talked to her and she had forgiven her father and had been reconciled to him. She would never go back to her horrible past. She would never return to her father's village and had continued to live with her grandparents. Even when her grandfather had passed on from old age, she had remained with her grandmother. Now, Chizoba was a very good girl. She was hardworking, and her grandmother was her only friend. When she came to the village, she had always remained at home and only followed her grandmother to either the farm or market, and also the village stream to fetch water. However, she was polite to the people of the village and always greeted them, but somehow she had not made a single friend. One day, Chizoba was returning home from the farm with her grandmother, and they had just arrived at the village when they saw a crowd gathering. It was a common sight in the village. It was usually a dancing competition between one group of girls and another. The girls of the village were beautiful dancers, and young men usually came from far and near to seek their hands in marriage. And it was during such dance competitions that the men picked the girls they would like as wives. You have come of age. Don't you think you should start joining the girls to dance? Your mother was a very good dancer in her time. When your father came to watch the dance, he was swept off his feet, Chizoba's grandmother said. She told me that, but I have never been a dancer. I don't think I can dance so well, Chizoba said. Why do you think so? You have the blood of Isia Gwatu. You must be a dancer. It's just that you have never tried. We are naturally good dancers, the old woman said. She led the girl to the crowd so she could watch the dancers. Chizoba was thrilled when she saw how beautiful the girls were and how well they danced. They are so beautiful. I have never come so close to watch them, Chizoba said. Her grandmother only smiled. Later, as they returned home, Chizoba kept gushing over the girls, how well they danced and how beautiful they were, as her grandmother proceeded to ask her what other things she noticed about the girls. They are very beautiful and very good dancers, Chizoba said, thinking of it again. You did not notice that they are in your age grade? Her grandmother asked. Yes, they are, she said. That means you have to join them and learn to dance like them. In Isigwatu, dancing for girls is the time when a girl becomes marriageable. Men marry girls at dancing events or competitions like that one. Her grandmother said. She turned to her and smiled. Oh, or you don't want to get married? Chizoba heaved a sigh. She had not really thought about it, and now that her grandmother had said so, she began to really think about it. She wondered if she could dance that well because the girls' dance was electrifying. That night, as soon as Chizoba had finished eating and cleaning up, she came out in the compound and began to practice how to dance. She felt awkward because it was not something she did. Her mother was a good dancer, hardly danced in all the years she knew her. How could she when her mate always made trouble for her and stole most of her valuable time? She danced alone, trying the steps she had seen the girls displayed. She felt comfortable being alone because she would have been too shy if anyone had been watching. Her grandmother was an early sleeper and usually went to sleep shortly after supper. The following night, as soon as her grandmother had retired to bed, Chizoba came out and danced. She was now very interested in becoming a good dancer. She practiced hard. She suddenly became very interested in the dances of the girls, and whenever she saw them dancing, she would go and watch them, admiring their dance steps, and when she returned home, she would practice at night. One day, she was admiring the girls of two groups who had called for a competition between themselves. There was a particular tall, beautiful girl named Ijoma. She was a very fine dancer, and everyone always agreed that she was very good at dancing. She had so much confidence and knew how to thrill her spectators. Chizoba had seen her at many dances and had been captivated by the way she danced. She always wished she could dance just like Ijoma. But then, she also always wondered that if Ijoma was very beautiful and such a good dancer, why has she not been married? That Ijoma girl is very beautiful and the best dancer. I wonder why she's not yet married. Chizoba said to her grandmother one afternoon while she was helping her prepare lunch in the open kitchen. The old woman sighed. Ijoma, she said, let's just say two things, my daughter. Two things, bad character and greed. Chizoba was surprised, though she had only seen Ijoma from afar and had never got close to her. She did not know that the beautiful girl had bad character or was greedy. Is she? She asked. I will not talk about her, but now that you are interested in dancing, you will soon get to know her better, the old woman said. Talking about people was really not her thing, as she took it as gossip. You just keep practicing. I see you are already becoming a good dancer. Chizoba was shocked. Grandmother, she said, what do you mean? The old woman laughed. I may be old, but I am not blind. I see you practicing every night and I watch you, she said. Chizoba's jaw dropped. You do? Imagine, and I always thought nobody saw me. Her grandmother laughed and Chizoba laughed too, slightly embarrassed that what she thought she was doing in secret was actually not a secret. However, that did not stop her from practicing, and now her grandmother would even remind her to practice, and soon, even in the day, she practiced. Once you are committed to learning something, no matter how difficult it is, you will learn and it will become a part of you, Chizoba's grandmother said. A week later, Chizoba was returning from the market when she met Ijoma and her friends. They were practicing their dance beneath a tree. She stopped to watch them and suddenly she felt she would dance better if she joined them and practiced with them. She went to meet them. Good evening, she said to them. The girls stopped dancing and Ijoma walked few steps towards her and stared at her. You girls are magnificent. You dance so well. Thank you, Ijoma said, rather cocky. Can I join your group? I want to learn how to dance like you all, Chizoba said. Ijoma tilted and her friends too laughed. Join us? Our group is only for the most beautiful girls who are naturally good dancers, so you cannot join us, she said and returned to her friends. They ignored her and continued to dance. Chizoba was hot. She decided to go home to practice on her own. She was very disappointed at what Ijoma had said to her.